I've been pretty open about, kind of mental ill health, about the ADHD diagnosis and, a lot of other things in my life. But yeah, I have always been conscious as well of how there's me as the individual and then there's me as kind of the concept. The notion of constantly having to second guess and question everything that you're doing as to whether it's the right thing to do, whether you're following standards, and with that constantly chopping and changing as well, that puts a lot of stress and exhaustion and anxiety and, sometimes depression in people's hands. I am alive and I'm feeling grateful for that. I never intended to go into politics or parliament to fight for drug law reform, but something which I feel that I've learned in that portfolio that applies to the rest of my life, and I consistently remind myself of, especially in the midst of said tumult, is the Serenity Prayer, which obviously Alcoholics Anonymous and otherwise use. There was a thing circulating the internet, the TikToks and the Instagrams a while ago, about how some people have like internal narration, and I always just thought that was a narrative device in films that, people could narrate and they had this voice in their head or whatever. I do have a lot of full noise stuff happening quite regularly. Personally, especially in the last kind of few months since taking on the mantle of the co-leadership. Look, I was pretty forthright about, I didn't aspire for that, but James kind of came into my office and was like, Tag, you're it. And then I went and sat down with all of our MPs, and because my model of leadership is that no one person does anything meaningful. I believe that there's far greater leadership potential that I see every single day in our communities across this country that are just doing this stuff at the cold face of it. I do think that we are in a really peculiar and unprecedented time where we have the climate crisis, not just in the evidence and the data, but it's being felt. You think back to a year ago here, Auckland anniversary floods. We're sitting in Auckland Central right now. I did a walkabout the day after that occurred, as soon as the sun went up, and just seeing the impact of a climate change charged weather event on our largest city. We lost lives. It's just, so the scale of the crisis that we're being confronted with is something. And then there's kind of just the culture wars that are being lit absolutely everywhere on fronts that I don't think any of us expected that we would need to even have, about bathrooms and sexuality education in our schools and the place of Te Tiriti o Waitangi, battles that I thought that, had long been put to bed. So we're in a very unusual time, I think. And when on a day-to-day basis you're kind of fighting for something that you believe in, then weeks pass and months pass and years pass, and then all of a sudden you're in charge or co-in charge of the third largest political party in the country, and going toe-to-toe with the PM, trying to hold him to account on some of his economic mythology. So, it's pretty strange times. I hate talking about stuff that I don't know about. I have been confronted a few different times in politics over the last several years where people have said, and what's your view on this? And I've said, I don't know. I've got to go and do my research. And those sound bites obviously don't end up being picked up. What do you think woke means? Because as far as I can discern, it just kind of means that I have views that are progressive. True. Well done, you've ticked that box. While I wouldn't necessarily describe myself as a lesbian, I am bisexual or queer, part of the rainbow community. I guess gay is an umbrella term, lesbian is an umbrella term. Yeah, cool, tick the box, well done. Thanks for the advertising, I guess. That sign, that woke lesbo sign, I only discovered that because my team was hustling out of our campaign office this sign really hurriedly, and I was like, where's my big hit? What's going on here? I just found out there was a second sign, which was woke slut.
Oh,
yeah.
No, we've taken that word back. You can't have it.
That's the thing. The team had that from me because they thought that would be more offensive, and I was like, I think this is more inclusive. I think more people across the sexuality spectrum could get involved with that.